Let's bring 2G out to the stage. The challengers teams with so much to prove. A fantastic last series, not quite going their way. Can they get the upset today?
Yeah, just missing out against that last game that they played versus Furia. But this team has been looking so good. They brought so much to the stage, knowing that they've come back to this as having that previous roster from 2G being on this stage. But they had a grueling run throughout that last chance qualifiers to make it here to this stage. A turbulent last match as well, just making sure that they qualify. So they're not going to put all that hard work for nothing.
No, absolutely not, especially not with that chip on their shoulder, trying to get some reclaim their footing here on the stage after a tough 25. They can't go out here without a win on the board.
They can't. They simply can't. And they have shown they have the firepower. They have that desire. But on the opposing end, we have Sentinels, an organization, players with expectations sky high.
And for Sentinels, 2025, not being at #1 in Americas wasn't good enough for them. That's why they made roster changes. That's why they banked on young talent, but that has not paid off. They have found themselves now in a situation with their backs against the wall. Champs, a long-lost, foregone possibility at best. And America's staying in it, they might not even make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, this is kind of insane. And I feel like for this roster, there's so much pressure, not just from the outside, but from the players themselves. You're looking at players like Cortezia, like Jonah P. These are big names that have been around in globals, trying to prove themselves once again on this stage. And when a roster this stacked is struggling, you know that they're trying to find their identity.
And yet, Sentinels, they're no strangers to being in the lower bracket. The best tournament they had in recent memory, kickoff 24, they went to the lower bracket right away. They thrived by playing extra games, having more maps up on the stage. But now as we look forward to the map, starting things off on Haven, this is a map they only played once in stage 2. That was back in week 1. A match in which Marved top fragged.
Hey, Ender, can you remind me what that comp was as well on Haven?
Look, I won't bore you with the smokes or the initiators, but they were playing Jet, Waylay, and Chamber.
Yeah,
it was out there.
I don't know how I feel about it. I think going into this, surely Sentinels have cooked something up, or at least have let this through for a reason. On the other side, though, for 2G, this has been a pretty good map for them. This is one of the maps that they won in that grand finals against SRB to qualify here to this stage. So I'm looking at them to keep up the proactivity, like we mentioned earlier in the show, making sure that they're just keeping that confidence up in the server.
And I mean, again, that grand finals to send them into play-ins was with a sub, with Gab stepping in. That isn't even their true final form, right? So starting off on the Haven, I mean, that's going to be a great confidence boost. And I'm looking really at how Sentinels can hit the server. And if we can see that confidence boost to really give that inspiration, that make it inspiring.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, after getting trounced in their last showing, you need to come out swinging here, especially when you think about this matchup. It's a matchup we saw a couple times back in 2025. Yeah. Sentinels win both times, no surprises there, but now they're the ones feeling the entirety of the pressure. This is not the easy win that it could have been in a year like last year. Every single match from here on out, this one, more than any, is going to be hard fought tooth and nail for Sentinels.
I think it's kind of interesting going to be seeing both these teams in the server. On one side, on 2G, you have this team who's extremely proactive on their defensive side and their attack side, making sure they're taking a lot of those aggressive fights, the aggressive picks as well, trying to shut down the numbers. But then on the other side, you have Sentinels, who recently we've seen play a little bit more passive, not pushing past a certain line when it comes to playing on that defensive side. But these are the agents going into this. I'm pretty sure this is the same thing that 2G have been playing for quite a while for this Haven.
And I like the Viper. It's something that not everyone plays because you have such good stall options, and also on the defense side, those retake walls are especially potent.
Yeah, you would hate playing against Viper on long C on flat. Reminds me of something, Ender.
Viper's a good one, but the comp will end up changing from Sentinels as well. They're going back to basics is what we want to see, but it's John QT on the Phoenix.
I don't know how I feel about this.
On the floor, okay.
I was really hoping we were gonna see Redux and Jerwin start to get that double duelist action going because they've been so good, but this is a change.
He hasn't played Phoenix all year. I don't think he's ever played Phoenix.
Let's see how this one's gonna be turning it out. I can't wait. 2G going up against Sentinels. Let's get it started and send it over to your casters. And is this a match made in heaven or a match made in hell? It's none other than Golden Boy and Mimi.
Oh, I think it's going to be a match made in hell, baby. Hello, everyone, and welcome as we get ready for this matchup. An epic confrontation is surely to be had between 2G and Sentinels. It seems like everyone's ready to go. We got a couple people in the house pumped up, ready to get this bad boy started, but it's important to note here what's at stake for the Sentinels if they win. It's a journey to make it to Champions, which was the point to begin with. For 2G, well, they're playing with house money. What can they do to push themselves further to playoffs?
It's time for match start, brought to you by Samsung OLED. It's a tough position for SEN to be in. You're saying they were built for this success. Now having to go all the way, a chance for their year to end right here if they can't put down this tier 2 squad.
Okay, so pay attention to that Killjoy. It's going to give them some decent early info here, especially as that firewall is about to come down here, so watch out for that. But curious to see how this new look and John QT playing the Phoenix is going to play out.
Yeah, it's very different styles. For 2G, they were playing this comp before, but the Viper has become less popular compared to this double duelist. You'll see them play a lot of these kind of retake rounds. This one, which is that C retake wall set up, but it's a strong post-plant position. Both a Paranoia and a stun available to fight towards CT. 2G already clearing garage though. Have some good pace to this retake.
Seeing if they can get in the action. But of course, that's already going to be first contact there by the IGL. John QT playing the Phoenix, and once again, a little jarring, thought it was a bit of a technical issue, but nope, that's what we're doing right now, and it's working. Cortezia ends up getting that kill off the side. So far, so good. And that is exactly what you want to see if you're a Sentinels fan.
Well, the John Phoenix, he's already 3 orbs off, getting an ult online. Really nice start from him in this round.
Yeah, that's actually huge.
Yeah, that's how he gets the first kill. I was wondering how he picked that one up onto the garage player.
Yeah.
But as soon as they lost that control, that opened up Cortez. He was so patient on that lurk. Comes in at just the right time and completely shuts down that retake for 2G. I'm interested if that heavy retake C style is something that we continue to see from them. Playing with this Viper composition, you certainly can play that way, but I think just in general, this meta flooding works a lot better.
Oh, wait a minute, a little bit of a poke around the corner. John wanted to get frisky with it, but it ain't gonna happen. He's all right with that. Instead, it's Cortezia getting active over here in Sewer.
You'll see a lot of this from him. He's such an active player on these lurks. And maybe he had a bit of a lower game last week for SEN, but he was one of the most consistent forces, even in this kind of struggle of a stage 2.
Yeah.
Playing on that lurk role. It's really him alongside that duo of Jerwin and Redux that has driven the wins for Sentinels.
Been talking a lot about SEN here. Now it's a question of what does 2G do to try and break through this? They don't really have a lot to work with. That one Paranoia might be good for them. Smoke to maybe give them a bit more coverage too, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I think they might just want to die to the spike in the end here. When you're playing against a Phoenix and John has already won off his ultimate, you do not want to let him snowball.
Nope.
It is so interesting to see him playing this agent, though. I think that when I've been thinking about
I have an aversion seeing IGLs playing duelist agents sometimes. I'm not crazy about it, so I'm curious what your perspective is of him playing the Phoenix.
Yeah, it's less so the IGLing that surprises me, and more so that I feel like we've seen Jerwin and Redux build really good synergy playing the double duelists together and going for that dive, but maybe some kind of comfort issue coming up. In general, I do think this is a much better change. I did not like the triple contact jet Waylay chamber comp they ran the week Marv was playing with them. So this is aligning a little bit more with the meta, even if it is unusual in who's piloting that Phoenix.
2-0 right now for Sentinels. Great start for them. Now it's time to see what this 2G team can do as they get some guns online. They want to try and just end this as fast as they possibly can. Look for Gobera to start to get active here as well.
It'll be tough, though, against a run it back from John. That's the biggest tool that they have at their disposal in the Sentinels camp. Potential for a re-clear into mid. You see, Brink's in a position where he can Paranoia. Gobera can slide off that if these players get close enough to make contact with the Sova.
Go, recon dart in. No sudden movements quite yet. Still poking and prodding. See if anyone's going to give him something, and ends up not being the case here. So you don't get much out of this, but what you do get is at least just some intel. It's like, hey, we know that there's going to be some bodies here.
No one was jiggling towards A long, so Cortez likely already suspects this is the Sentinel site. He'll try and walk up on QCK, but gets caught out on the jump peak, and that'll immediately call rotates over from both squads.
Run it back activated now. JohnQT trying to get inside of the site, doing well. But wait a minute, it's QCK who catches him. That was a scan that shows exactly where that running back was going to be located. And this is now just going to be 2 players left alive dealing with the might of 2G. And as I say that, it's Jonah P. He gets himself one more. It's now 1v1. Shenum, Jonah P, 2 veterans going up against each other here. Not the first time these two have squared off against one another. Shenum, of course, a VCT player, has been in this situation in the past. And he comes up huge.
That's so critical to get that kill for Shenum. Jonah was just a bullet away from getting this clutch across the board. I thought 2G's rotations in this round were very good. They played for that mid-trap play, didn't over-activate it off seeing the blaze wall, and we're in a great position to play this fast flood retake. As QCK very intelligently tucked and kited around that run it back. Still got risky, but it's a round on the board. It's that Phoenix ult used without a win to follow.
And also, too, important to note that this composition, Sentinel's running, 2G has faced off against. They played a Fluxo or La Masia in the finals. They squared off against that double duelist comp. So one of the things in that game, they were getting run over on the defensive side. So it's nice to see them really button it up, give themselves a little bit more to work with. And if anything, I'm looking at Brinks because in that series we watched last from him, I was really impressed with Brinks. Curious to see if he pulls off another big game today.
He's got a nice spot here with the Frenzy in the corner, but it's well cleared by Cortez. Unfortunately for 2G, despite getting that last kill at the end, you see what it's done to their money. Only Shenum, the player, to win that one-on-one against Jonah, gets a real gun into this round.
So much was put into that, Mimi, and it just further illustrates just how much these guys are going to be fighting every single round we watch. Because what's on the line here, it's pivotal. You got a long journey for both of these teams if you want to make it the champions. Jonah does manage to find one mark. It's Gobera. He's going to get out of dodge. Oh, can't get out of there fast enough. Odin go brr. He'll find it.
Yeah, good night, Gobera. That'll open up this C site. You talk about those implications for Sentinels. I think that weight sits on them heavier because of the reason this team is here. SEN was good in 2025. They made top 3, top 4 every single stage. Made it to international events, but couldn't get it over the line against teams like G2, teams like NRG towards the end of that year. And they blew everything up. It had to continue throughout this year, making changes away from Kaplan towards even more new Tier 2 talent.
Yeah.
But now this is like the event that we've been waiting for, them trying to qualify for champs. And they're in the worst possible position to do it from.
Yeah, and really coming into play-ins, I was actually excited for Sentinels, even though they had quite a loss streak making their way into this.
Yeah.
I still felt optimistic because I was liking what I was seeing. But I think that now that we're at this point here, competition is just only going to get tougher and tougher and tougher. The desperation, all these like big plays. You got to remember, you're going up on the other side against a 2G with guys and third round pickup for SEN, but you're going up against these guys, FRZ, QCK, right? Shenum, Gobera. They've been in the VCT before. They've played in these high stakes matches. But the question is whether or not they're able to win these big ones, you know?
There you can see the stat. This is JohnQT's first ever time playing Phoenix in 589 games. That is crazy.
All right, Waze, I see you. Hitting us with the numbers. That's that is a stat 100%, but we'll see what we end up getting here. So far, so good for John. I mean, hell, I'm liking what I'm seeing on the Phoenix, but still so much more left to play.
Yeah, playing this kind of composition, it's something that I think does suit SEN's style. I like any map where we get to see Jerwin on the Neon. I felt bad for the kid last week. He had such a good performance in that map 1. Felt like it was kind of wasted. But with an IGL Phoenix, let's take a listen to how SEN's comms really sound.
Throw the one way for you guys. Can I wrap it? I'll clear it.
It will.
I have no smokes for 10 seconds. I'm one wing now.
Yeah. I'm going C long.
I'm all in.
Okay, the turret C.
I'm gonna get my ult.
2B.
2B, Viper Omen. C is weak, C is weak.
Okay, you can.
Speed up.
I broke the turret.
I'm gonna molly this.
Heard. I'm blinding tunnel. Blinding.
I'm off. We're orbed off, boys. Can be close.
Give me the bomb. Get it bomb.
Yeah.
I can flash, I'm flashing high. 3, 2, 1.
There you go.
Back where? One more.
One more, should be one more Omen. Dead.
Backside.
Don't kill me.
Sorry.
Care garage.
One more. Don't kill me, but I died.
Care garage.
Caging. I have it.
You can
I
just
have one walk.
Alright, I have garage now.
I have camera first bomb, okay?
Could flank window on timing.
They like to save.
Alright.
Yeah.
Bomb too. Give me a Vandal. Bro, all Phantom players?
Oh, Gabriel.
This can't be real. There's only Phantom players.
Garage is a gap. Do we see Neon?
No. I'm leaving you. You should watch behind you, Jerry. I have camera for spawn.
Okay, watching behind me.
Please, I'm gonna buy Vandals, please.
Exiting. There's a Vandal here, you want it?
Actually?
Yeah, it's in my house.
Okay.
You guys.
What's going on over there?
Sorry. You want to start digging?
I've made that joke many times. Well played, though.
Just a desperate plea. I love everything that round from John too.
That was great.
The squeaky, please don't kill me.
Yeah.
As he's getting so vaulted on the
Guys,
execute.
please. I love it. But that was really, if we talk about the actual execute, though, what a thing of beauty.
Yeah,
that
it's
was
clean.
great. Way to get in there. Just everyone knew exactly where they needed to look. They had their protocols all set. I mean, this one right here, the flash around the corner, the relay bolt over to the corner there, too. Like, oh, man, that was great. Loved all of that. Keep doing that, Sentinels, and I think you continue to add.
This guy is gonna get...
They're still giggling.
They're still giggling. Bunch of giggly boys up there.
Sorry,
All right.
it was Jerwin who was almost killed by the Soval, not John. But other way, I liked how controlled they were in that round. Up 4-1 now, and we're buying into this op that we had last round. Didn't get to activate whatsoever as that save, that tendency, 2G, was being noted by Sentinels. Gonna get anything this round, it's Shenham instead who opens onto Jerwin.
Massive pickup. We wanted to see Gobera with that snipe. They're going to go away from him. If anything, Cortezia might run into him, but don't know if that's necessarily going to be the case. Actually, they are looking to favor this side here. Try to see if they can get more info out of this. Yeah,
in the Sunset map that they played in their last series, I thought that the operator was the big key to them figuring out their macro there. They did a much better job of getting Gobera on active angles on one side of the map and being able to fight as a pack elsewhere. Here it's even a sneaky position from FRZ with that bandit in a sewers.
He didn't want to give up any info there, so Gobera, smart, but FRZ, the bandit kill's nasty. And that's actually going to give them a weapon to work with potentially if they can go and grab that. But they won't worry about that right now. Right now, the objective, worry about B site as it was currently getting attacked by John QT alongside Cortezia, but there's Shenham for the pickup against his Brazilian compatriot. Redux, last one left alive. A rifle in this kid's hand usually will net you at least 2 frags, but in this situation, it's going to be so tough. He got the spike over yonder. It ain't happening. Good try, and 2G's back on the board.
And there's some of that individualism from 2G. I feel like that was lost a little bit in their last series, but when you watch these guys play back in Brazil, when you watch them play that grueling BO5 against Shopify to get here, you saw the talent on this roster. So many of these players have had opportunities in the past, have been there for some of the lows of Brazilian Valorant. You think to 2024 MIBR when FRZ was there. You think of even 2G last year for Gobera. To have this second chance, to be able to play against VCT squads again and show that that old self, that's not you. It's a huge opportunity.
Wait a minute, Gobera's got the line, and he gets the shot onto Jerwin. He's going to also take out the run it back too, so you're not going to get much out of that either. And this is just going to continue to be a great stop here for 2G, thus prompting this movement. And I really just like just how quick they are with the responses on everything. It makes it so difficult for Sentinels.
And I think the solution again was Gobera's off, but maybe the other side is Cortez. Second round in a row. There's a lurk in to see, but he needs more this time. In a second fight against Shenham, he wins that too. Cortez keeps going as Jonah arrives, and Sentinels, they've got a post plant.
And I think that this is very well going to be curtains here if you're not careful. I don't think Gobera wants to feed the beast in this instance. They put a lot to preserve this op, and they really haven't gotten all that much value out of it.
Sen said it in the listen, and I think 2G saves too much, honestly.
Yeah.
You kind of get backed into this corner when you see the op is such a win condition. But look at the implications of this round. You lose here. The Sentinels' ults are starting to work around the corner. They get their money in a great spot. And they start to really take control of this half. It's a tough one to concede, especially after getting that lovely opening pick from Gobera back towards A.
Yeah. Put a little fear in them. Made them think that there was potentially a push. And behind us, I just heard someone squeal, but I don't quite know what they squealed for. It was a SEN player?
The round win, of course.
I hope they're okay. 5 rounds, though, for Sentinels. And picking up some big ones here. And even though you're getting 2G here and there, they've been able to add a couple more to the defense. it really has been Sentinels dictating the pace of this game, controlling every single moment-to-moment play that happens. And 2G, I mean, at this point, you kind of need a reset a little bit here.
Yeah.
It might even be worthwhile to, I was going to say, call a timeout.
And they will. I think the biggest thing that they need to figure out right now is what is their approach to C. Because in most of these rounds we've seen the Viper and the Killjoy are able to flood backside together, but they're losing these fights before anyone else can arrive. Part of that reasoning is that Gobera has normally had the op over towards A, so you don't have that fast Neon flood into the site. When you look at other comps, like Sentinels, for example, they would normally have at least one of those duelists on a quick rotation to help fight back in, or maybe, in Sense comp, you'd have those default Cypher cages to help with your flood retake. But 2G doesn't have those tools, other than maybe using the Viper wall on the site. So I'd like to see them rethink how they're defending this site. Maybe play heavier towards Garage and look to play a retake setup on C like they did on the Pistol, or elsewhere. Try and get active earlier in these rounds. I think that just sitting back, their anchors are getting cooked right now on that C site.
Same problem that they had last time. And if I'm Sentinels and I'm watching the VOD from last time when they played against, was it Furia?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm seeing the win con here. I see the vision. And that's exactly how Sentinels are playing this. They know that 2G don't really like passing that 50-yard line, and they like to play a little bit more of a conservative style, and you just can't do that here. You gotta show some willingness to go and get active, just like what Gobera is doing right here. Could be just what the doctor ordered. And the question is whether or not Cortezia gives it to him, and he does. So Gobera is able to get that first kill. That's good news.
It's as simple as that. Bring the op to C, bunker the A site with your Sentinel, and it nets an opener. Sentinel's hands pretty much force her to exec into this A site. Brinks is here, Paranoia in hand, ready to stall. The Neon has arrived as well.
Ooh, it's a lot of damage done to the Neon there. And that damage is actually going to end up really paying off. Brilliantly done by Brinks. Shenham's able to get his as well. Leaving just one player left, it's Jonah. And QCK lives up to the name. Quick work there.
I love that TP from Brinks in that round. The second that exec's coming in, he hurls his Paranoia, goes into that close right corner, and completely obliterates these players. We look earlier in this round, and it's that Operator coming online. Cortezia, he has been so free to be incredibly proactive on these lurks early in rounds. This time, an Operator in position, an early punish, and Sentinels have to play into a disadvantaged execute.
Cool. That's how you survive.
Yeah, lurks have been something that has continued to hurt this 2G team. Cortezia, familiar with these players, having just played in either the same league, same systems, played against them many times, knows their tendencies, I believe even teamed with Gabshi over the coach of 2G for a little while. So
that was way back when.
That was way back when. But there's that familiarity that exists here that you know that he's a threat. So you know 2G got that in the back of their mind. Like, you got to take this dude out, otherwise he will cause problems.
More recently, wearing the MIBR colors with Genom as well. It's a familiar match. Up against a lot of characters from his past. Is SEN this time will just walk their way into the B site. No Paranoia this time. It has to be a full retake for 2G.
My eyes continue to stay on Gobera on the flank.
He has no friends with him. Brinks just TP'd in alone. He thought it was just a spike planter, and that could turn this round on its head.
And that does happen sometimes, where you want to go for that big play, think you have the opening, but it does not work out. And I'm a little mindful of what's happening over here on the flank. You can actually see the way that Sentinels are playing this one out. Cortezia, wise to it, did not want to allow any opportunity for 2G to get back into this one. But FRZ could have other plans. But it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do all that much. It will be tough to get in there with the Odin. It'll be tough to make that defuse happen. You don't have the util to do it. You don't want to spend that Viper's Pit. So that is going to be the round given and round earned to Sentinels 6-3.
Another save for 2G. Feels like the fourth time this half that's happened.
Yeah.
But this was the pivotal moment. Brinks, he thinks that because his Viper wall is up, it's only one player in the site planting, and he has an opportunity to make a play.
Yeah.
He misreads it. The Neon's already made his way out. John is there to support with flashes, and as soon as your Omen dies that early, this retake becomes infinitely more challenging to come up with.
And I think Brinks was hoping to get on top of the box there. It wouldn't have mattered either way, because that guy had nothing impeding him, so he would have popped him no matter what. But even all that, everything just that could have gone wrong in that play went wrong. So they're going to need to recover here. And one way to do so, go ahead and chop off the sewers. Yeah, I dare you to make your way inside of here.
They're trying to funnel Sentinels right towards this operator. But
maybe into the loving hands of Brings. Whoa, yes! He's able to get one, but John... Okay, John handles that problem. I was worried for a minute there that it could have gotten turned on, but it worked out.
It was scary, that's for sure. But look at Cortesia. Again, he has been so proactive on these lurks. They have a drone to get him out, and he will back away, at least for a moment, as Sentinels again look to end towards this B site.
Lots to do here for QCK. Also has that lockdown, so be mindful of that. Can't lose his life here. Turret's done. There's another player behind that wall. And, of course, the Odin, so you got to deal with 100 bullets coming out of that bad boy. But QCK backs up, and they're going to try and read this one out. Look, though. Look at Shenum getting busy.
But this is a brutal angle for Gobert to play. He's worried about Garage and Long. This becomes a game of timings for the Opper.
Cortesia, slowly but surely, marching his way in. Gobert, unsure of where this is going to come from. He has to watch, as you noted, 2 different angles. Here it comes now. He's actually going to be right in front of him. And that is a massive stop there, preventing Gobert from being able to just put a stop to that slow push into C. Now, good news here for this 2G team. They got that lockdown. They can try and force these players off site.
But Cortez is staying.
Uh-huh. He's got a little nook.
I like the smoke for him. He's going to buy time on his own. How much can he do?
He gets one. That's enough. And they have the stall. It's going to be one shock, another paranoia, and it's now time to go Burr, but it's going to be up to Jonah. Clock is ticking. You got to do this now. That's first kill confirmed. Second one, you got to start defusing this one, but need to at least get it to half as it continues to tick forward. Jonah has to poke around the corner, but QCK gets the kill, but it don't matter. The timing was there. Job was done, and that's the 7th round for SEN.
Red Bull clutch there for Jonah P in the 1-on-2. He plays that well from Long. There's a game of inches here, but I think the critical point of this round is that kill on Gobert. I don't love him having to play that angle where he's committed, having to watch Garage and Long alone with an operator. They're very reliant on him holding these extremities, letting the rest of the team fight together. But Sentinels making that call to contact into him, have the perfect punish on the Opper, and make that retake nigh impossible.
Yeah, they've been really brilliant at just avoiding where, I was going to say, avoiding Gobert, but in this instance, shutting him down as well. He had to make a plan happen. He had to make something happen with that overdrive and gets nothing for it.
I like this read a lot from Sentinels. He doesn't have money for an op. He has overdrive. They read an aggressive play. Look how passive their positions are. They were ready for that, be it the play through mid, a play down C long. They wanted to receive him, and well, now FRZ, he feels like he has to do something. His team is down a man, but Sen's just waiting for this play. They're waiting for this mistake.
Ooh, little worry there. For a brief moment, Brinks kind of was out of position, but was able to get out of dodge. And the neural theft is simply just going to be annoying because now it's like all this info that they were denying Sentinels, they're just going to get it here for free. What do they do with it? As the push starts to come forward, John's there to back his boy up.
Oh no, the timing!
Oh, that is unfortunate. Takes out Brinks. He can't get away. He can't go back over to his teammates to join him with the TP. And that will allow them to put that spike down. Only 2 players left, but Shenum and FRZ. They can certainly make it happen. I mean, look, I was up here yesterday casting one of the craziest 1v5s ever, or 1v4 I've ever seen in my life. So anything's possible in this game.
But GB, it's 2G.
It's true.
They're gonna save.
They're gonna save.
They love saving.
You're so right, Mimi.
Have you seen the price of eggs these days?
I know the economy's tough out there.
It's actually not that bad anymore.
Yeah, you know,
it's still kind of expensive.
The chicken thing ended, you know, but then the inflation happened, and then at that point we were cooked.
Anyways, they're gonna save again.
And in this economy, that's a good thing. No, I'm kidding. But of course,
I don't know. I would have liked to see them try and play more of these rounds out. I mean, this one even became a 2-on-3. Sure, look at your money. You're going to be kind of chalked going into the last round. But I think they've slowly lost this game to attrition, in part because they haven't taken any risks.
Yeah. And you know, if you're 2G, you are really bummed out because that ascent was so good for you. And SEN knew that.
Timing.
And SEN knew that, and that's why they banned that thing first. They did not want to let them have an in on this game at all. And even though Haven historically has been decent for 2G, this defensive side has really been struggling.
I think it's a great advantage for them, though, to let 2G pick this map, knowing they have a far less troll comp ready than what they were playing last time.
Yeah. And who knows, if we would have been on a SEN, I mean, the way that 2G play that map, I mean, they bully their opponents, so anything is possible there.
Little fake play towards C.
Fast lane activated just to kind of give them the idea that they want to push out.
2G aren't overcommitting to this, but look at that swing towards A long. Jump peek is Jonah. Did he get this kill onto Brinks? Tracking was close, but the Omen gets away with his life for now as Redux will look to activate now on A.
FRZ has such a big play here to make. He saw the foot. He saw that big old foot of Cypher, but it ain't enough. He's clanging and banging. He ends up getting the kill on him. And that actually opens up this A site, provides another opportunity for Sentinels to add to that win column, add to that attack column, rather. And they've been great in all of these plays, but just that is an unfortunate pick there.
Look at Jonah. In spawn with an Odin, was waiting for that flank. 2G calls off it. It'll be everyone through CT together trying to get this done.
You got no other choice. You got to make this happen. It's round 12, last one in the half. You got to do something here. Slow walk in, Redux around the corner, but that's Jerwin and Redux. They get themselves a couple. Gobera up top, can't do anything about it. 9-3, Sentinels start strong.
Rough attempt at that retake from 2G. I think a little bit of a disconnect. The Viper late to rotate over as this first iteration of the fight was coming in. And then by the time they're actually playing the retake, even if it is man down, the Neon is still in heaven. Two other players are coming out through spawn, and SEN clean it up easily. This was a good look half from them. They're up 9-3 as we head to the break.
All right, folks, we're going to take a quick pause for the cause. When we return, question is Sentinels going to lock this thing up, or are we going to start to see one hell of a comeback from 2G? You don't want to miss it.
Yeah, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up here. It all started when I got to the FIFA World Cup, and wow, thousands of Verizon customers.
Oh, you got the free Verizon tickets too?
No, I'm with amazing seats.
I'm sorry. Okay.
And even pitch side access.
Are you? David Beckham, a Verizon customer.
This used to be for players. Now it's for Verizon customers. No one gets you closer. Only on Verizon.
We know how difficult IGLing can be in John Cutie. I want to ask you, with all of your experience, what do you think is the most challenging thing about IGLing?
To be honest, it's really hard to like pinpoint one thing, but I would say having to be like 100% every game and not being allowed to have a bad game as an IGL, because it will impact the team a lot. And also on top of it, being like play well individually and be able to execute your role.
Well, you're one of our fragging IGL, so.
That's why it's hard.
Welcome back, everyone. As that guy right there, John QT, is putting up a decent performance on that Phoenix. First time, by the way, and he's been really instrumental in getting this team that 9-3 advantage. Going into the half, SEN now on defense.
I like the John QT Phoenix. It looked pretty good this half. I think his coordination with Jerwin was nice on some of these execs. I think especially on their C-split rounds. He had ult up for round 2 as well after his 3K.
And it works for him because you heard Dryad just a second ago. He is one of the fragging IGLs.
Oh, yeah.
He is one of those guys who can slay.
I mean, I think earlier this year, before they made more roster changes, he was that guy for SEN. Kind of always has been.
Ever since joining the team, he's been a part of that system for such a long time. Core member of this Sentinels lineup, core part of their identity. Same can be said, though, for Gobera on 2G. He's been part of this team as well for pretty much an entire year and some change. You know he wants to get a dub for the org here, but so does John. Lots on the line here. Jerwin just reading this playing slow. Hello, peekaboo. I'm going to run away from that. Thank you. I do not want to deal with the full might of 2G around that corner, but he does have some assistance now. And even though he does manage to only get one out of that, that's still just such a great read from him. But as all that begins to unfold, it's going to be a 3v2. You got 2G. They are just doing everything they can to suss out where these last two players are going to be, but they're moving this one across A.
Yeah, the round gets quite weird.
Look at that camera.
FRZ getting past the rest of the team. Now in a really strong position to try and end this one. He has to play his cards patiently, though. If he dies early, this becomes a lot easier for Sen to get back in.
He's hanging out over toward heaven. And then you got Shenum on that flank. Here comes the peek. Cortezia not ready for it. Ooh, the timing. He saw him, saw his thigh, so he knew, okay, I don't want to push this, but with 13 HP, it's going to make continuing this journey to heaven very, very difficult. You might be taking another journey to heaven, if you know what I mean, but in any case, Brinks continues. Just put that pressure up there, not giving him any opportunity. FRZ loses his life. Thankfully, classic right click is always there to bail you out. Cortezia, last one with 13 HP. Does not happen, and 2G can breathe a sigh of relief. They got a pistol, Mimi.
Nice commitment from them that round. I like, off of getting that initial trade on B, how hard they commit to that A split call. You saw this slide coming in from Gobera. He gets the opener, stays alive for a little bit more as FRZ manages to claim that space. And as soon as the map is blown up like that and you're in a man-down XVX situation, it's so hard for Sen to deal with the Heaven player, to get back to site. It's the start that 2G needed. But Sen have a little play cooked up. Look at this paranoia. This player's waiting for it.
Uh-oh. Time to go. Don't want to deal with that. Quick, make yourself hidden. And it works out. 2G able to hold off that aggression. And I give credit to Sentinels for just trying to make a play happen in that moment. You don't have a lot to work with, so you got to see if you can get in their face, hit them with a left hook. And it turns out that right hook from 2G was just a little bit better.
It really was. Now, John, just hoping and praying for some more orbs backside. The Phoenix lifestyle. It's really hard now that it's 7 picks.
I know. The struggle's real.
Either way, this is a clean one for 2G.
Yeah.
Get the plant down, have a nice reply to that trap play. They'll clean it up.
There you go. Business as usual. That's the way it should be for 2G, as they're able to secure themselves another. But let's not forget that was going to be an eco. So for Sentinels, now is their opportunity to slow down this momentum that 2G is starting to build.
Yeah, and my big question for Sen in this series as a whole, we won't see the summit. That's where it was the worst last week. But my biggest issue with them for, honestly, a few weeks now has been their passivity on defense. They're oftentimes so unwilling to go for these active reclears, to go for these mid-round fights in the way that other teams are, preferring to play more into these set retake ideas. And I want to see that proactivity out of them, especially with the Neon Phoenix comp here.
They did not manage to drop that tripwire, so and won't have to worry about that when it gets in there. They dumped a little bit of utility to just see if they could remove some of that in the common spots, but I'll slow this one down now.
He doesn't know that Brinks has gotten around the corner here. This is a bit of a weird situation. He might have a timing onto Jonah.
Brinks, I don't think knows either. Wait, oh my, he was right next to him.
They did a full 360 around each other there.
They really did, back to back, you know, like a movie poster. That was funny, but hey, he gets one, he gets the other. Better for 2G though.
It's a hell of a start to a bonus round, though. This is a great post plant for them to be in. Double Odin retake for Sentinels.
Those bullets just flying up right below the legs of Gobera. FRZ now. Do they push this out? They do. And it's a slide out, and it don't matter. Shenum gets himself 2 just like that. And right when you think 2G, they're slowing down, the momentum's starting to really begin to hurt them. They clock 3 in a row like this, and they're slowly but surely getting back into it.
Really nice round for 2G. It all comes down to this timing that Brinks gets. It's a big risk this early in a round, just walking through that smoke. But despite the fact that it only ends up being 1 for 1, that diverts resources off this C site. Lets 2G get into a post plant. And Sentinel's already calling a timeout here.
Man, wanting to reset things just a little bit, because the moment that 2G gets going, that momentum, it is difficult to stop these guys. You know, Brazilian Valorant, they come at you fast.
They do.
So if you're not careful, although 2G, as we've been talking about this entire time, though, they are one of the teams that will play with a bit more protocol, with a bit more of a slower pace, just to see what they can get. Very disciplined team, of course, lots of experience on that squad.
Yeah, I think that they looked quite good when they ended up being in big team fights, where they were the ones setting the expectation, where they were the ones initiating. I thought that's where they strived last week, but where this team struggled in my eyes is when they played these really slow rounds and their initial idea didn't work, how to navigate through that. I saw a lot of rounds that were coming down to kind of low info coin flip, just we're going to hit the site because we don't know what else to do at this point in the round because they've given us nothing.
Yeah, and for the most part, it works for them, quote-unquote works for them, because they have such great aimers, and they're able to hit those shots.
Yeah.
But at this level, Tier 1, you most definitely can't get away with that all the time. You certainly can some rounds, but you ain't going to get it all the time like you do in some of these challenger regions.
And that's, I think, manifesting no bigger way than with the two Sentinel players, with the Pseudo Sentinel on the Viper on the other side, with Shenom and Cortesia. Former teammates back on MIBR, familiar even earlier when they were both playing in Brazil Tier 2 before getting the call from that big org.
Pretty incredible to see the history of a lot of these guys and go through all the matches they've played, how many times they've all ran into each other. So the familiarity is most definitely there, at least for Cortesia. But then, I also think about the young players on this team too, who going up against these VCT veterans, in Gobera and Shenom, FRZ, as well as QCK. It certainly must be a little nerve-wracking, just because you know that you're going up against guys who have been in these high-pressure situations before, and this is as high pressure of a situation as it can be for these young players on Sentinels.
Hey, but some of those guys, they've had that moment. It's really just brings you, it's his very first time in Americas. Everyone else had a stint in this league. Everyone else had that moment, and I think people critique Brazil sometimes, the recycling Bryn of the same players coming back, but there's a reason it's these guys again.
Yeah.
But they're working into a stack here, 30 seconds. Makes me a little nervous, even on an anti-eco.
Yeah, they are taking their sweet, sweet time, and I'm really concerned about Cortesia because he's got that angle. He might be able to get one or two here, slow down the momentum. The instant rotation starts to come in. They don't check the corner. Ay, Dios mío, this is falling apart in real time. Just when you thought that 2G was going to just go in, make a decisive play, it was Sentinels on the Thrifty that outsmarts their opponents.
So remember when 45 seconds ago we were talking about how sometimes 2G, their initial idea doesn't work, and then they just kind of hit a site low info late?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened here. They had no time left. Sentinels had the right stack on A. They fast flood in with some great team fighting, and 2G just lose.
Yeah.
And I think that's a habit that comes from a lot of Tier 2 squads. When you're playing against lower tier competition who will give you a lot of opportunities in the mid round, who will peak you, it means you can a lot of the time just sit back and wait.
Wait for them to make the mistake, because they're more than likely going to get a little overzealous or, try and push or do something that they're not supposed to do.
But this is a different level of play. This is better teams that are less likely to give you those chances.
And when they do, you notice it, and you take advantage of it. It'll be very tough here against Sentinels, very disciplined team, regardless of the fact that they're a young squad. Lots of smart players here.
It's funny that I think in terms of overall stage games, the SEN core probably has less than 2G.
And
if you're averaging it out between the players. Cortez, nice off angle there onto Gobera. He's looking for a second on QCK. He's just good for it. Cortez has been a beast this game.
Maybe even get a third one here. Hunter's Fury gets activated. Pressure starts to get added. Shenom, though, is able to get two. Wait a minute. FRZ also finds Jonah with the Hunter's Fury off screen. And that's now going to have to prompt a little bit of movement.
This angle.
Aye, that is a tough one. Jerwin.
He's going again.
He wanted it. He wanted it through the wall. Now he knows. I mean, at this point, FRZ knows clock's ticking.
30 seconds left.
He'll try and desperately sprint to A. See if he can get a plant down, but Sentinel's already descending on him. 3 players ready to put this one to an end.
And he is not ready for this. Shot right to the chest. That will be Sentinel's 11th as they continue their winning ways here, slowing down the momentum of 2G. And that Thrifty was devastating, man. It completely just changed the entirety of 2G's mental, I think. Like, you could just see they should not have lost that. That's what they felt. But they did. And as a result of that, this is the outcome, you know, cause and effect.
I liked it with 2G playing too slow. I don't think we fully saw it on screen, but they went back and took the time to pick up the double Odin that they've been running all half. It's brutal to play against on this map if you're a team that only has one dive character that likes to contact around into a late hit, that around multiple corners, there's a weapon that's just going to bullet tag you through a wall, spray you down as you try and exec. It's extremely unfun to play against, would be one way I'd put it.
Coach Gapshi is going to hit the pause button again. And that probably came after the back of Cortezio blowing a kiss. I'd do the same thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, at that point.
You don't want your players getting distracted.
No. I mean, look at that mustache. You kidding me? It's just, it's too much. It's too much.
I think you do rounds on some of the VCT Twitter I've seen with those takes. Anyways, this went from a game that looked like a pretty good chance at a 2G comeback, winning that bonus round, to now the eco flips the other way. The AWP gets in the hand of Jerwin there, and
the complexion changes
completely.
And really, I am a bit bummed out that we're not seeing Gobera, who's typically been lights out for this squad, not get the value from the ops that he was looking for. Not a couple times, maybe here and there, 1 or 2 picks, but outside of that, I mean,
I think it's kind of a comp thing that when you're playing solo duelists, you just have to make a lot of sacrifices when you're having your Neon off so often. You saw the amount of rounds where he was having to save on defense instead of just looking to play the retake with the squad on attack as well.
And you have so much to work with now in this round, Mimi. You got the run it back. You have overdrive available too.
Yep. And you still have your dream trio of weapons with the 2 Odins and the AWP.
That's just disgusting. You got yourself a cool 200 bullets to work with.
Yeah, what do you do? If Jerwin whiffs on this AWP angle, there's going to be immediately an Odin spamming. It's scary to get across for 2G outside A lobby here.
All right. Let's see what 2G cooked up from the timeout. All stacked up, but as you noted, Mimi, it was going to be really tough to get through that, and Jonah P. peppers Gobera.
And it's Gobera dead. The 2 guys you don't want to lose there are Brinks on the smokes and Gobera on the dive.
Yep.
And with 1 of them gone, this round immediately becomes far more challenging. You have to play a slower round. You have to try and find a gap. But SEN right now, their only gap is B, and with the run it back, they're so comfortable to play retake.
Yeah, they could just give this space and time to 2G. Just go ahead, guys. Have all the time in the world you want. We're ready for this. And that's the look that you're getting. And a real tough one. Missing Gobera, as we had noted. It would have been nice to see him be able to get that opportunity to activate that overdrive, but it was all for naught. And now we leave this slow walk up right into the loving embrace of the mustache. But he does. I thought he was going to get actually called out there. Does not. And they're ready for this. To run it back with the Odin, that is diabolical.
He's going for the body back towards CT.
Oh, yeah. Okay, smart. He knew that something was up there. He had to deal with that. And Brinks takes care of his mark. That's going to be 2 players left alive. Jerwin now thinks he could get something going with the overdrive, but suffers the same fate as Gobera. And that just leaves Jonah P, LMS, nothing to do. And that's 3 for Brinks.
Sick play from Brinks there. They're down a man in a post plant. They recognize the win condition. Punish the run it back. I think it was even a TP going back towards spawn. Gambling there's not a player there. See it again in a second. There's his first one onto Redux. We charge forward just after this.
Ooh.
As QCK as well, getting work done. That was a big round for 2G to win. That's what keeps them alive in this map.
Desperation for sure, but an important one for 2G. And now we get a little bit more speed, a little bit more pace here from Jerwin alongside John QT, but primarily Jerwin, and he's going to get himself inserted in a great spot. They'll probably just chill there for the time being if they feel like there's an indication they need to push, but starting to happen here. FRZ actually gets that first kill onto Jonah in the backside. That is not what you want to see happen. A lot to do for Cortezia here, as he's going to get hit with the paranoia, and he gets absolutely obliterated. Gobera manages to pick one off as well, back defender side, and that is the round here. And Redux, Jerwin, you got not much you could work with. Wow, well played by 2G.
Yeah, it really is.
They needed that. Again, these are all vital rounds that 2G needs.
It's how you build a comeback. Jonah P, I'm not sure if he thought that there was a smoke at the top of long,
Yeah,
or
got
just
just
felt
caught
like he had
out.
a timing, but he swings into that fast lane. There's 3 players looking at him, and fortunately the Odin, not quite the weapon at that range.
No. I mean, it's just... And then again, I've seen Brock do some stupid crap with that gun, so...
Sure.
I don't know. But yes, you and pretty much in all instances, you are correct.
Cortez, though, had some struggles there as well. Had a lot of chip damage off the spam holding back sight, but when the cages fell, because of the very committed positions that SEN were playing off that early trap play, they couldn't actually rotate in time before the cages dropped, and he just gets paranoid back sight. It's good execution from 2G, good trading to defend this fast lane. This is the kill I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Swings
wow.
in trying to pick that Neon, and immediately there's someone there with Gobert's back. And that's just fortunate to catch the spam onto John QT.
Yeah, that was a... every round at this point, and when you're 11 in for Sentinels, it's going to be critical, right? No matter how you look at it. But it is doubly important for 2G just because they got to get there. They got to get in the game. They got to get motivated and get themselves back to that point where they were when we've seen them on this map in the past be able to really leverage some of those like faster plays, or maybe just Gobert being a bit more proactive, as we talked about earlier. QCK
For sure.
wanting to be more in the action too. Like I've seen it in the past. They could do it here. But the question is whether or not Sentinels, I think their game plan, their playbook, everything has been so good at just shutting them down that when 2G get those 1 or 2 rounds in, it comes off of some really amazing heroics, great plays, great calls. But you want to see that be a bit more comfortable for them.
Yeah, I think that SEN have lost these last couple of rounds, not necessarily off any big macro issue, but more so off of just losing some of the more micro team fights in the late rounds.
Yeah, like the Jonah P one, you noted.
Yeah, on that anchoring
Like you
there.
lose
So
that one person there and that whole site opens up.
I still think that with the style 2G is playing, they're not always creating a huge amount of problems for SEN in the mid round. They're playing pretty passive most of the time. The biggest threat really is like this lurk wall. So I'd like to see them get the Neon past that, as they will try to this round.
Might be somewhat successful in that endeavor. Neon finally is going to break through, so Gobert has an opportunity.
But they got the Trojan horse embedded. It's Redux with a hero weapon tucked down sewers.
Could be a problem if they decide to commit. And surely you check this corner. But I will lie, like we've been seeing a few times where those corners don't get checked and it ends up causing problems. Redux, though, he's actually right at the door, gets 2 just like that. We were literally just talking about it.
That's so sick from Redux. Adjusts in half a second to pick up both those kills. Now 2G have to try and make a play. They've won some man-down situations already this half. This would have to be another. The difference, though, is backside. 2 players this time. The Sheriff in Cortez's hand, that is still dangerous.
Okay, here you go. QCK needs to play this one out, but he gets caught with Util in his hand, and then Cortezia is going to get himself 2. One more maybe for the 12th? Yes, indeed!
4 players live on an eco round win for SEN.
That can happen.
Yeah, I like the idea at the beginning of this round, sliding the Neon, baiting for Redux in this corner, and it's just so nice from him. Immediately ready for that second position out of Shenom.
Wow.
And I think 2G just misread the situation at the end here. Thought the C site would be weaker. And Cortez catches the free kill.
Theoretically, it was weaker, Mimi. It's just that, you know, he shot him in the face.
It's Cortez with the Sheriff,
It's
man.
nasty.
I'm not going to his side.
He's nasty. But we go fast here. A little bit more pace. A little bit more urgency.
All the way back in spawn. Redux doesn't know. That's a free kill for Brinks.
Yeah, he's done that one a couple times. He likes to head all the way back into defender spawn.
Look at the minimap. This round is crazy.
Uh-oh. Get out of there. No, he can't. FRZ falls. But if you could get, at the very least, Shenom in... I was going to say, where is Shenom? He's over toward A.
There's 2 players still in A that are full wrapping around. For now, this is QCK's round to win. SEN is also flanking.
Whew, what a round here. But an opportunity, as you noted, for QCK. There goes the Viper's pit. All right, that's 1. Job done. Hey, you did enough. But just as I say that, John QT gets his 3rd kill, takes out the Viper. You ain't got nothing to work with. What can Brinks do? Can Brinks save the day? Oh, no, he can't. But it's oh so good for Sentinels. as they pick up map 1. Might as well have been round 1, round 10, round 30.
I mean, I don't blame you after that
unreal.
round. That was crazy. A TP into spawn.
Holy.
8 different fights happening at once. And it's a Phoenix Flash in the 1v2 to save the day for SEN.
Yeah, that was chaos. There's a lot you could do. I always think about TenZ back in the day and how he kind of defined how like a duelist approaching Omen would play. And it stuck with me till this day. And I like if Redux continues to add on to that because he's got one hell of a rifle that they got to take advantage of.
Sure does. Elimination on the line here for 2G. As QCK in a dangerous position.
Ooh. Gets himself 2, but instead it's Cortez. Get Cortezia gets 2. I thought that we were going to see QCK pick up the second, but instead he gets shut down. And this is going to prompt FRZ to be a little bit more active here. But this will be tough. They're going to need this help. And it gets a little bit easier when Shenum gets a pick like that.
It's really nice. They've already full re-cleared ramp control. FRZ on a good timing.
Ooh. And you know that flank could potentially be coming in. That's why they're checking. And it's Jonah. The 2 initiators squaring off against each other right now. Gonna back up. He's gonna commit to it, FRZ. Knowing that Jonah's gonna be behind him, giving himself a little bit more of an angle to work with now. Redux comes out and dies instantly. It's all down to Jonah, the person that they know exactly where he's gonna be positioned. Spike's getting diffused, and FRZ gets his initiator compatriot, and that is gonna be the first one on the board for 2G.
Man, I love the way FRZ played that round.
Guys.
LFT already. That didn't take long.
I'll tell you what. I'll fund the org. Let's do it, okay? We got
Golden Esports.
Golden Boy Esports.
Hey, I mean, that's a pretty good trio to pick up if you're going
and
for it.
everyone has to be bald on the team.
I think only one of them's bald. The
Nismo agrees.
The M80 players out there, by the way.
Alvin, you want to get bald with me, buddy? Yeah, all right, Alvin's bald. Let's go.
You can't just recruit people like this.
Listen, I'm very influential. Okay, I was nominated one time for that. Anyway,
so a 2G pistol round win to bring things back to Valorant.
How dare you? I'm always talking about Valorant.
It's really nice from FRZ. I like the patience he played with that one, and now Sentinels not too much to speak of this round. Just a couple sheriffs.
I think Gobera thought he was going to hide just a little bit from that, but ends up getting tagged. He's going to need to clear from that Fade util, so he'll move away for the time being, and they'll just push him away. But this continues to just kind of herd the cattle around, see where things are, check around. No info given, and I like that Sentinels, they're denying that info. They're not letting them have anything, just playing this one slow.
And what's on their mind? They only want one thing, ult orbs. Give that for John QT.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Yeah. Welcome to the Phoenix lifestyle, John.
That's it. All you're doing is just eating orbs.
Come on, grab the orb.
Oh, no opportunity to do so, though, and Gobera is going to stop Jerwin. Gobera gets the second one up top. That was Redux. Thought actually could have worked out for them.
Okay. I don't know where Jonah's gotten these bandit kills from. Cortez has one as well. There might be something more to this round now.
They got some guns. They got something to work with. Brinks and QCK on the flank, but it is the Phoenix. They do have at least some flashes, a paranoia, a flash around the corner. Jonah P, I think, is wise to it. Backs up. He's got assistance as well. Here comes the push through, but they're able to take out the help. Now it's down to Jonah P. Jonah P going up against one, and he clutches it out. The professor takes the boys to school. 4 kills for him.
That's so gross from Jonah. A perfect shot with the bandit late there early on here. The adjustment is so clean from him. Ready for that second on to FRZ as well. What a round from Jonah.
Just saw the hair on his chinny chin chin and was able to go for that shot. You know he was worried in that moment.
And I'm thinking this round's already cooked.
It looks
They're just going to farm the orbs. They're down a man in an eco. And they turn it up. These SEN individuals, man.
And this is actually a great sign for Sentinels, because when we saw them last in that matchup against Envy, I mean, oh man, it was not what we were hoping to see. The individuals just simply were not finding that success. And now you're starting to really believe that this is something that Sentinels can put together here with some smart plays, great adjustments. And it's clear that these players have full trust in one another to be able to do these things, because look, Redux has been playing the Phoenix for this team for a minute. And for him to concede that, he's been a primary duelist for a long time, going to that Omen role. You know how much it means to them.
Trust in the process for SEN. That's all you can really have when you're having to play game by game from this lower bracket.
Yep.
Throw from John. Clears out Gobera.
Oh my word, that is a flash and a half. I love that.
It's clean work.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, just go ahead, handle business. Look at all those X's right in the middle of the map. Oh, that's delicious. You love it.
Nice stuff from SEN. They'll clean up this anti-eco flawlessly. And it really hurts me to see this for 2G, because the pistol round legitimately was great from them, and it was the same in the last map. They win that round 15 on Haven. They have a comeback, and then they get eco'd. And it's exactly the same thing here. An eco round win for SEN, a clean conversion.
And I think that if this is like a part of that identity of SEN, the way that they're able to string together these eco rounds, that's a great thing. Because it does take me back. I think about like G2, and they were like force up the stingers and always try and like make those big plays or something like that. If SEN are just eco team where they can really find success in that particular win con, that's huge for them. But we're getting fast and frisky here. These two players immediately fall down. It's Gobera and Shenum, two big marks again. And we keep talking about Gobera, Mimi, and him wanting to get going. It does not seem to be happening.
Yeah, shut down again, but that's a big kill onto Redux FRZ.
It is.
He's been watching the Lev VODs. He knows the right spam angles there into main. Jonah will get the plant down. It's a 3-on-3. Well, Jonah and John with ults in hand and main control, still strictly that of Sentinels.
That's going to force out that Nightfall. As soon as that flash got activated, not trying to play with that nonsense. It just gets way more challenging for them to get into this. Cortesia, that is as good as it gets. And now with John, these two players backs against the wall, pretty much put him through a blender.
I thought he was out of time on that run it back, but ends up getting the last 2 kills, spraying down both of them. And Sentinels further this lead. I love the early round tactic here. Going fast up mid, a slide in, and spam off that contact, and Molly as well to stop that very swing. That's brutal for 2G at the end.
Mamma mia.
John's a little surprised.
I mean, one part that definitely sticks out to me here is that it has been Shenum and Gobera just really struggling in that mid. Every round so far, they've been punished. It feels overwhelming, I wonder. And even in this instance there, you got to do something. You got to do it fast, so they get activated. QCK now in the fray. He's got to run it back too, and that's a gun grab.
But in exchange for that opening kill, they have lost the A site.
Yeah.
Sentinels quickly expand into this space, and they do try and hold on to Heaven as well. I think the linchpin has to be this player in mid. Redux with smokes in hand.
This is why you want to see him in those positions, and even though he's only able to get one, that's still going to be one that just really affects him, slows things down. You don't have any of the paranoia. Jerwin, he's just churning and burning. And that is a shutdown for 2G. They have nothing to work with.
And it looks to be maybe another save. FRZ is so late to this one.
Yeah.
Second round in a row where 2 players get gunned down before they can even get active in the round. It's 4 for Jerwin in the end. And a 4th round for Sen as well. Had a slower map 1 for Sentinels Duelist, but here he's looked so good. Whether it be these early slide plays into mid that you were highlighting, or here, taking the right initiative on that timing towards spawn.
Nice! Vamos! Vamos!
Hey, man, vamos indeed. Sentinels are playing great. The timeout is going to get called. Big red button hit.
I really want to see 2G try and get Shenum more active in these rounds. I feel like we haven't seen any opportunities for him to actually work a lurk.
Yeah, well, he's just been getting shut down in mid.
Yeah.
Time and time again.
Or excuse me, sorry, my brain just exploded for a second there when I said the
time.
name Shenum, but anyways. But for 2G there, looking into this next round, they do start to get some of these big ultimates online. They're in a position where QCK is actually the guy that I'm looking at here, because a lot of this comp relies on the tactics on defense of how you can achieve either active pushes with your 2 duelists or winning out on trap plays. That's what Lev is so good at on their defensive side. That's why they always play this passive A-hold. And I don't think that those kind of tactics have been able to succeed just yet for 2G.
And I think that part of that, young man we just saw on that screen there, Jerwin, he has been very aggressive. He has been looking to just constantly get in the face of his opponent, disrupt their timings, and it's been working. A couple rounds here, Jerwin being that tip of the spear, it creates so many openings for Sentinels to work with. Then you got Cortesia cleaning up on the backside. I mean, it's, a lot is working well here for Sentinels right now.
Redux attack opping on the Omen, looking for some kind of aggression from 2G, ready to punish it. They were reading that some kind of play would come this way, that he'd have a chance.
No.
And he might still.
My ultimate is ready.
Perfection from Redux. And that's the good news about Sentinels. You got a lot of guys on this team, too, who can also grab that op and put some work on it. So it's like, it really is a pick your poison type of situation. Oh, Redux kind of got stuck there for a minute by his teammate, but he's okay. He's got the help, and they got the clear. Last player left alive. It's going to be Brinks back of the site, defender side. And look, it is possible, but it is very, very, and I'll just add another one, very difficult.
Yeah, 2G have gone for this aggro mid-reclear in a few rounds where they're down a man, and I think Sentinels have read into it really well.
Yeah.
That round, they go back, see him swinging to the angle, expecting that play.
Great coverage there. Just good use of the op, rotating that thing around, constantly moving it, just checking all the corners. That was clean.
And now when I'm talking about 2G, their win condition probably being getting this double duelist more active, being able to set up trap plays with the Neon, with the Phoenix together. Now you're constantly afraid of this attack side operator from SEN.
Yeah.
That's a threat in the back of your mind for the rest of this half.
And on top of which, you have barely anything to work with except for the Clown Fiesta. You have all the ults available to you.
Is that the technical term?
I mean, back when I used to cast other games, that's what I would call it. And it seems like the Clown Fiesta is about to begin. Couple ults getting spent here. Gobert gets himself one, run it back activated there by John QT. Gobert continuing to try and find his mark here. He's actually going to...
There's the ult on the other side from 2CK with the operator in hand, just picking up a gun. They're running it into spawn.
I mean,
you might be
pandemonium.
Right. Look at the map in this one. They have the spike in attacker spawn, and on an eco round, it's QCK holding the line with the op.
Just silliness. But hey, either this is going to be a really great plan or this could all come crumbling down for 2G. So they got to be careful about this. They already lost two players. You got 50 seconds plus to work with here. But on the flank, it's Shenum, and no one's looking at him. The spike's going to get popped up there, and one more player. It's Jerwin and Shenum. You wanted to see him get busy on the lurk, find those openings, find those timings. He does so and gives them a thrifty.
Yeah, really nice job by him cleaning that up. But that is, I mean, you called it the Clown Fiesta round. I didn't believe it would happen, but it kind of was. Super aggro play, and this is what I'm talking about. When you're playing the double duelist, this Lev comp, you want to be able to show aggressive tactics on defense. That's one of them. Run it back, combines with the Neon ult, pushing down mid. Senate basically never started a player mid.
Yeah.
So 2G recognize that space is weak. They can fight out into the pinch B main.
Yeah, but I think it's also important to note, though, that it can't always just boil down to those ults. It's got to boil down to a little bit more. And then Jerwin gets shut down. Let's see how 2G holds this one off.
Tem a correria.
Eu tô, tá bom. Tô bom,
E vem meio. Passando o rampa com você, velho. Cara, o teu guys.
Vai fingir rampa, guys?
Vem comigo. Vai pro CL, eu acho.
Tem aquela smoke? Falou baixo. Não tem smoke, vou com vocês, então. Vai comer base.
1, 2, 3. A Fade plantou, 2 bomb.
2 bomb? Tá bom. Eu tenho mais um lobo, vem.
Tá, tô com você,
Guys, eu vou passar uma parede aqui, tá? Pra gente povoar.
Aberto.
Você tem banger, irmão, depois? Tenho banger.
Os 2 bombs, certeza, né?
Esquerda! Céu!
Céu com de vida, velho. Mandei céu, abre bomb, velho. Morreu, céu, clica. Ah, é, céu, perdão.
Pode ter sido pra rampa, pode dar o clique.
Só depois, né? Depois, velho. Nice! Alp base. É, bomb aí, na real.
2G needed that round, and they got it. And that was a big one, because it continues to just give them that confidence that they can come back into this game. Still so much left to play here, Mimi.
I like that read from Sentinels, going for the fast play with the Neon ult to try and punish the Viper's Pit. But 2G are a step ahead. Have QCK there for the defense, get themselves a man advantage. And despite Redux putting up a hell of an attempt, the trading is good enough on that retake. And the positioning too rough for him up in heaven to be able to do anything. So now 2G with their feet out under them. Gobera has an operator in his hands. He'll look to lock down mid. Sentinels testing their luck towards B. The Nightfall for their hit if they want it.
See if they can get that orb. No, he's going to get an orb another way. John QT's down. Now that is really still an opportunity for Sentinels because they get that spike down, Viper's Pit. You could go ahead and use that. You might want to clear sight. You might want to try and look around, see where you can suss out where the players are. You got the Nightfall for that as well. So they can win this round, Sentinels.
But they're walking back into the operator. Gobera whiffs! That is brutal. Goes even now, and QCK stunned up in the smoke, has to concede the space as Cortez and Redux both activate on their lurks. And from a 5v4, it's a 2-on-4.
What a swing. But you do manage to even things out just a little bit here. With that kill, FRZ takes out Cortezia. Redux, no! QCK, despite being a little bit encumbered there, is able to find himself a mark, and that will be FRZ securing the second. That could have gone a little dicey there, and it looked like Sentinels could have been able to pull that one off, Mimi.
Yeah, it was a messy round across the board. Sen losing players early. But this
rare whiff.
Yeah.
Rare
Gobera
whiff.
was good for it, especially on map 1 of this series. Doesn't quite work out for him here. This is what I want to see from FRZ. A guy who's been waiting so long for this second chance. Was there for the lowest year of MIBR, one of the lowest years for Brazilian Valorant as a whole back in 2024. Now gets to come back up, lead this team for 2G.
That's right, VCT veteran. Been in the game for a long time. He's actually been playing this bad boy since beta. So he's been in the action for a hot minute, knows what is going to be necessary of him, so is Brinks. But now we go over to Shenum. Another VCT veteran. Looking to make his mark here once again on the Americas stage as John QT gets the better of him. And you got two guys there, and John and Jonah, who've hoisted trophies over their heads. They know what it's like in these moments where they gotta pull off the big kills, and they do it just there.
Yeah, last map, those two names stuck out. The Jonah P clutch. Consistent John QT rounds. Playing on this Phoenix, playing on this new role. But always that nightmare behind you, Cortez. We'll let Gobera slip by, so a chance to at least get out on site.
Ooh, QCK though, be careful. The firewall, he might just disrespect it, and he does. And he does. 2 kills for him, 4 total out of the round. We're getting closer and closer to the half, and I'm starting to feel like this Sentinels team, with the way that they're fighting for each other, shooting for one another, they've had to have some hard conversations after that loss. To Envy.
Yeah, you think about how much they changed, how much they retooled their compositions, moving from the only team really playing the Waylay to...
Gotta feel good if you're Envy. You made them change the whole thing.
Yeah, really did. And Envy had a great game plan going into that match. Definitely outplayed them. Forced the SEN squad into a position I don't think anyone would have thought they'd be in at the beginning of the year.
Not at all. Mid starting to get a little busy. There goes Jerwin. Smart movement there from 2G to just back out of that fight. The run it back is going to clear just a touch, but not enough to give QCK pause. In fact, he might just be able to get this kill, but just I say that, Jerwin had the better of him.
That timing's so rough for QCK. Gets caught on the cross, and now Gobera has to slide back towards A. Jerwin just holding for Shenum on the peak as well. It's only Brinks on B.
And that moment there, I thought Brinks had the reads for those players on Heaven, but he knows, being an Omen player, once you hear from the Shadows activated the Omen ult, well, it could be anywhere. It could very well be behind you. So you can see that moment of hesitation, and that is exactly what SEN pounced on.
And now this feels more like the first game. Another save from 2G as they back towards A. SEN have been able to, after basically not touching it for the first 4 or 5 rounds, run roughshot over mid in these last few. 2G haven't had an answer for these fast plays with the Neon Phoenix sliding in. This time they conceded the space, tried to play back and refight in, but they just get out-skilled by the Sentinels individuals, holding that space in Heaven.
Yeah, I would really just want to see this 2G team just play a little bit forward, get a bit more busy, because at this point, Sentinels, they have the confidence. That is very evident at this point. Looking at their cams, their reactions, all the little things that are happening, the confidence through the roof for those boys. So you need to rattle them a little bit here. You got to do something. You got to do it different, and you got to do it fast.
You absolutely do. It really is. And there's that other kill I'm talking about. Chenom just trying to step back into the angle. It's easily taken out. So the story of this half was a few rounds off of a set play, getting aggro with the ults for 2G. Since then, it has been another drought in these last two. QCK, he's just sitting in spawn with the ult, ready to fast rotate over and react. But it's mid again. Sen own this space. They haven't been denied it once in the last 5 rounds.
He's going for it. Gobera. Nope, nope, nope. Don't want to go into the pit there. It's not an area you want to try and mess around with. But they did clear all of that. Now it's going to be an opportunity here for QCK to get in the action, get anything, but he does not. It does prompt some information of that's where these players are going to be located. And you can see that Chenom and those boys trying to push out, trying to crunch them a bit more. Brink's trying to give him something to work with here, and he can't get out of there in time.
Second time this series where that's happened. Caught with the ult in hand, a second away from his escape. 2G desperate for another round win.
That's the whole gimmick for the Omen, you know? You got to get out of there and fly out.
Center doing a great job at freezing in these mid-rounds, letting 2G re-push into them. German's been collecting free kills in heaven as he waits.
And Gobera, knowing that the world is on his shoulders here. Last round and a half here on the attack for Sentinels.
30 seconds left.
Or rather, on the defense for Sentinels. Look at me, on the attack for Sentinels. Words are hard, and English is not my first language. You'd be shocked.
That's not true. He's making things up, folks. Either way, this is
I would
a tough
never
one.
lie.
This is a tough one for Gobera.
Yeah.
You just don't read that angle from Jerwin.
Nope.
What a good game from him. They kind of wasted his life game in the last one.
They're making it up here.
Yeah.
You know?
22 kills on that ascent.
Yeah.
Couldn't get it across the line against Envy. But here he is showing out for the team, showing that that performance not a one-off, showing why he was the player that Sentinels have been waiting for alongside Redux, investing in these young guys, believing they're the future.
Just wish that animation ended a little bit sooner if you're Brinks. It's the pain of Omen players. All right, folks. This is a great situation for Sentinels. 2G, though, can they bring it back? We got to find out if all this unfolds after this.
Drop.
Welcome back, everyone, to VCT Americas. As Sentinels is up 8-4 as we get ready for the second half of play here on Split. Desperation time now for the Brazilians over at 2G. Can they muster up the rounds that they need, Mimi, to get themselves back into this game? It's going to be so hard to do it on the attack.
It looked possible on map 1. You want a pistol in this second half, want a bonus after that. But it was that eco round loss that stunted the momentum. Same story in the first half here. Now trying to recapture some of that, keep this second chance alive in VCT.
All right, now it's time to see what 2G can do here. Immediately gets slowed down. That's all right for them because they just got to give themselves that one little opening, that one room of opportunity to be able to get this round that they so desperately need, but it doesn't happen if it ends like that. Jonah P gets one. John is there to help out as well. It's going to make it into a 4v3.
QCK dying there, losing ramp control is rough. Now it's 2 players bunkered on site, and Chenom in the prime position.
Prime position, but unfortunately cannot get the hits necessary to secure the kill. It now puts a lot of pressure on FRZ. He's the healthiest player here. Brinks is a little weak, so he needs to kind of throw his body at this fight if he wants to win. But no, he can't do anything about it. And instead, just that pace and speed from Sentinels, they clear that site so fast that there was just no time for 2G to respond.
Another smile from Cortesia. This has been a rough stint for Sentinels. They have been on a loss streak going into this game, the end of the regular season, the start of play-ins as well. This is a team that has been on the back foot, that has been struggling to find their identity. But this seems to be it. Changing the composition, the individuals hitting, and it just looks like they're having fun up on stage.
I was going to say, though, you mentioned Cortesia, and look, he's been great for this team all stage long. It was really just the last couple games where he found, some unfortunate moments that just did not go his way.
And that was with the team as a whole.
Exactly. So you look at what Cortez provides this team with consistency, and it makes sense why they're finding the success that they're finding right now. Speaking of Cortesia, he's going to be dealing with the full might of 2G. Got a lot of stingers here that could look to bite you if you ain't careful.
They're staking everything on this round. You lose your force buy. And this map might be over, but they're walking right into a judge.
It's judgment time, baby. No, not for Gobera.
Is that a jumping stinger? That's crazy that he gets that kill.
He manages to avoid the law. Few have. Let's see, though, if that is enough to be able to get this round. Player advantage. Forcing these Sentinels players to have to just peel back just a little bit. Concede some of this space. Redux got himself that Bulldog kin, put it to work, but he's going to be facing 2 players, and it's clean. Well done.
Now a retake for the last 3 members of SEN.
Oh, no.
And that's a QCK not looking the right direction. Cortez is traded.
Was waiting for that player in the corner to get that one kill. Finally ended up coming to fruition.
Last player standing.
But with John being the last man standing here, no. He's going to hit him with the flash around the corner, trying to chase him down. It's now down to a 1v1. What does the IGL look to do here? It's IGL versus IGL. John QT gets the kill, locks down 10, and Sentinels are 3 rounds away from moving forward here at play-ins.
That is disgusting from John. Comes up massive with a Red Bull clutch. And that was the force fight. That was everything for 2G.
And they look at him just looking all cool and stuff. What a smug man. Love it. He has every reason to feel that way.
Welcome to the new world. John QT is a Phoenix player. He's got almost 20 kills. He's winning clutches like this.
Wow.
Crazy.
He brought cookies for the team too. I don't know. I made that up, but honestly, it wouldn't shock me. And Coach Gabshi just...
I mean, what else can you do?
Yeah, man. There's not much else.
They have to force again, basically. They staked it on last round. They scamper together what they can to still get half armor and rifles in the next.
Oh, man. Redux just peppered them with shots. But Shenum opens up A site. So good lurk there for Shenum. And he has been great for these so many times to just give his team those openings. But they got to be careful about
Jerwin.
what's happening here with Jerwin.
He's still here. If anyone tries to path towards heaven, it's a judge waiting for them. Oh, the Prowler misses.
Oh, no. Surely not.
And there's a double flank coming in as well from Sen. The timing's going to get really weird.
Flanks on flanks on flanks. Oh, no. Brinks. pulling the activity, gets one. Looking for the second. There's John, the hero of the last round, the hero again on the flank. He does have a run it back for the retake here. And you have a lot of util for Jerwin.
These players on 2G are low as well. The guns are still weak.
You just go ahead and sneeze on him and they'll probably die. Redux gets one onto Gobert. Jerwin now make his way onto the site. I don't even think they need to use it. Does he get the read? He does. Jerwin connects with one. Looking for the second, and he gets it. It's all down to FRZ. And this was a round that they really needed. And it's going to get down to the absolute wire. Oh, 0.9.
I thought he had it.
I thought he had it too.
It was so close. 0.09 on the spike for that round to be won by 2G.
Well,
that's crazy.
That 0.09 delay seconds that FRZ gave him was more than enough. Not even close.
The work from Jerwin, though, in this late round looked like he had done enough.
I mean, the animation was on the thing. It filled the bar.
It doesn't get much closer than that.
It really doesn't.
So now
Unreal.
2G, after losing their force spy, going back in with only Stingers and Sheriffs, gets back control of this game.
I do like John with the Stinger here. Activates to run it back whenever he needs to, and he's got a great gun to just get into the face of his opponent, disrupt their plans, whatever they're looking to try and execute on.
Center very active. They've already full cleared into B main. They're sending John on a rotate over to A. I think of that anti-eco that 2G lost back on Haven.
They know exactly what's at stake here for 2G. They need these rounds, but John, with that, what you would call a hero gun in this situation, is able to get himself one. He still has more to work with. And that run it back too. Let's not forget, as the push starts to come through, John's got to get contact up front. He gets him two, that's more than enough, but then comes Shenum. Shenum gets 3 kills and Brinks is there for the 4th, and this slows things down exponentially. Jerwin won't be able to do much. You got a bandit up top, and you might be able to take a head off or two, but it is going to be very tough for you to get to that site from this angle. And that is the round.
You got to be thankful for Shenum if you're on
really
2G
do.
right now, because John made a damn good attempt at that round. The decay from the Viper here. See that vulnerability means the Stinger is far more effective at range, gets a second as well. But it was these kills backside. With a perfect adjustment, spray transfer for the 3rd.
Man.
And I got worried. It felt like echoes of eco rounds they've lost before.
It was starting to feel that way. It really was. And that's dangerous. Honestly, the fact that it's still feeling like that, and we are 17 rounds into this, we've already played a map, and it still feels like they don't have that full command. It is a little concerning for 2G, but if you're a Sentinels fan, you're feeling pretty dang good right now.
Have to be. This is them still in a good position despite that round loss. For 2G though, Shenum gonna be the X factor this half. When he was back on MIBR, he was good on these lurks and he still is. Nice kill onto Jerwin early.
And that's gonna prompt some movement over toward mid, opening that area up as well. Cortesia gets removed from the equation and Brinks yet again. He's going for that play, but it doesn't matter. He still gets the mark.
I've never seen a player that loves just sticking Omen ults into spawn more than Brinks.
My guy
I
is
feel like he
committed.
does it every other ultimate, but it works more often than not.
Yeah, because not a lot of people do that.
I mean, normally it's like part of a set play.
Yeah.
That you'll see it, or you'll send a smoke and fake it, something like that. He doesn't care. He commits it. Nice opening this round though for Shenum. I think that figuring out how to deal with these A ramp lurks is going to be one of the keys for Sen. Shenum has been a beast in that position so far.
And I'm not shocked that we're getting this timeout called from Coach Ewok here.
For sure. This is a game that could very easily slip away. With Sen back on another eco, with 2G, with the momentum behind them. It would mean so much for these players. You think back to the VCT teams that they've been on in the past, and there was always that asterisk for FRZ. Nearly winless with that year on MIBR. I think only 2 matches picked up. It was the same for 2G last year with Gobera, now being the only surviving member of that roster. QCK was kind of the end of Loud when he was being put on Phoenix back in 2023. They've all had these moments, these memories of things not going their way when they've been on this stage. They've been here in California before. Now trying to make up for that. Show that second chance. Show what they can do with it, really.
And the last time we saw 2G play on split, 7 rounds was all that their opponent allowed them to get. Furia, can they get a little bit more here as they run into this one with momentum? Now, unlike the last time, they actually started on the attack and thinking that maybe the defensive holds would be a little bit better for them, 2G, as we can see from the track, not necessarily the case here.
But either way, this is also a 2G with a new look, with the new composition. They had to change so quickly from that kind of old-fashioned Sky Jet Rays to now switching over to a mirror against Sentinels. Two teams that, despite the difference in stature, had to take very similar learnings from their losses last week. Had to reinvent themselves, look to other teams.
This match is interesting, too, because both of these teams, right, giving us new looks. It's like who figured it out faster kind of deal.
For sure.
You know? Who can put this together in a manner that makes more sense for the unit that they have, for the team that they've built. And so far, it's working great for Sentinels. It's actually going to force these guys to slow down just a touch. A lot of utility getting spent here on the mid, Mimi.
See the difference in the pacing. Sen was a lot faster on these mid takes. 2G. This reminds me more of their last comp. They play these very slow rounds. They let Chenom work his lurks. But time can sometimes become their enemy.
Getting a little active over here toward B. The fast lane played out. That's going to pull all those players over. But while that's going on, look at this. You got Brinks. He's working up toward heaven. The prompt starts to move in now. They're like, okay, we got to go. We got to make this one happen as they get onto this site. But it is going to be a rotation, a quick rotation here from the Neon. But it gets shut down immediately. And this is going to give this opportunity, give this site for 2G with only a couple seconds left. They'll get that spike down, and all this is happening. Watch out for Chenom on that lurk in case anyone tries to get a little active over there. It's going to be Cortezia. He's the last player left alive, and this should be it, and it is.
Nice job to 2G there. They play with the rotations, play this slower round, and get both the Neon and Phoenix to pull off Heaven back towards Spawn, allowing them to isolate only that Neon who attempted to slide in. And Jonah P on this site. Just an anti-eco. But these are the rounds that have slipped away before. These are the rounds that need to be clean for 2G.
These are the rounds that have ran away from them. So you simply just cannot take anything for granted.
Now I look back at the other side. This is Sen's chance to wrestle this comeback back into their control before it gets out of hand.
Got the Odin.
Got to run it back.
Lots to work with, but when I look at the other side, though, Mimi, you got a Viper's Pit, an Overdrive, and a Run It Back available.
So
2G have that ult advantage.
C's ready for Chenom. Jerwin might just look for this fight. Chenom's going to back away. Call his team back over towards him now.
If they wanted to use the Run It Back as they get a little closer in, take that Heaven control, but they got to get past Jerwin right at the ramp. And you know that they're just disciplined in this moment, Sentinels. They don't want to give anything up here. This is, as you noted, a big round. Okay, so the push starts to come through. Jonah now going to have to deal with too much, and it's going to really not help when you're blind there. Thankfully, Jur wins for the pickup. He gets himself 2. Run It Back gets activated by John QT. QCK also activates that Run It Back. And that's going to prompt him to make the move forward here as well, and he gets the kill! Oh, man, that is brutal. 2v2, though. That gun that they spent, that Odin, is it going to work out for them here? Cortezia might not even need it, but the spam comes through. Actually, Pepperson does a lot of damage to QCK. Paranoia gets used as well. We need to be careful about those bullets. He has way too much to work with here. QCK can still be the hero of the round. 4 HP in a dream. Does he find it? No, he does not. Redux gets his mark.
Very scary round there for Sen. You've been seeing Jonah P play committed on this site in the last 2 rounds, A anchoring.
Yeah.
I like when the Fade players play up towards Heaven instead, kind of copy Leviatán there. As he gets picked off, it requires a big moment, and that's Jerwin who immediately steps up. Really nice job from him, taking that tempo on the slide, getting back into this site. And it's Sen's team fighting coming through at the end of the round.
Yeah, it was the thing that they needed to do. They needed to focus on that team fighting. Too many times when they were playing the Waylay, they would you know, go in there, ping pong, and then no one else was there to back him up with Jerwin, right? That was part of the flaw of that competition.
This is the new comp on display. The new idea for Sentinels is there's a big fight happening towards A ramp. Jerwin's already gotten one, and poor QCK, what's a man to do? Stunned up, he needs a good savior, and that's Shenum taking the head off John on the other side.
Yeah, he was basically moving like molasses there. Super slow. Now they know Jerwin's going to be stuck in this corner. They're not going to make that same mistake last time. Surely you don't get away with that. Unreal.
So it settles to a 3-on-2. But Cortez, he hears this rotation. He knows the Omen's running back over.
This flank from Brinks, but Cortezia. He really, both players have been great on those, like, you know, flank lurky plays and stuff, but Cortezia has really been the man of the match.
When you look at map 1 especially, that was all him on Haven.
And now the weight of the world is here on Shenum. Because if you don't get this round, that number 11 gets ticked up to 12. And you're one step closer to winning this series if you're the Sentinels. But Shenum might actually try and make magic happen. And an individual fight there, but Jonah P had a sweating for a brief moment, but he gets it, and that's 12.
Too good for it. Sentinels out of that timeout. They get this game back under their control. I love this refight from Jerwin. That one's just a basically unassisted kill, but later on the way he plays this, breaking the Prowler, sliding back in. It's just raw mechanics on display from Jerwin.
The fact he gets one.
Yeah, he's been so good for Sen.
Just silly. Open it up too. Oh man, what a guy.
Keeping their season alive here.
All right, this is it. Match point for Sentinels. On the defense, so the onus is going to be on 2G to have to make those moves happen. It's been a lot of that A-hit, Heaven presence. Main on the B side, you know, kind of been left alone a bit too many times here. Maybe they look to do something.
Shenum is in deep. Look at this lurk. He's already up behind. That's a free kill onto Cortezia.
Love to see that if you're 2G, but you need to get a couple more here. Jerwin, he knew that he was basically dead to rights, but he was going to hope that no one was going to see him in that corner there. Thankfully, they clear him for 2G. Now it's up to Redux. He's got the Odin. He's got plenty of bullets to work with here. Matter of whether or not he gets it, and he does manage to pick up 2. Can't get the 3rd, though. It's all up to Jonah. The professor can end the game, take these boys to school, but it's going to be so hard. And he can't do it. FRZ's good for the shot. That's 9 for 2G. They're getting closer.
That is insane that Shenum gets away with that. I'd love to see again exactly how he caught that timing.
Yeah.
If you look at this early round, he gets straight past where that fade was playing. I'm not sure if he was on site at the start of that round and just missed the timing in main.
How bad that play could have fallen apart.
Yeah.
He didn't poke around that corner to catch Jerwin.
Shenum's good, though.
Yeah.
So cerebral in his play, catching some huge timings for the team and getting the win. And as his timeout gets called, I think that really all you have to solve is how you're dealing with Shenum, how you're dealing with this lurk. And I'd like to see Sen give up the A site, play to maintain Heaven control more often. I don't like that they've been trying to have Jonah actually playing deep into this A site. I think that makes it a lot harder, not only to shut down these lurks, but also means that you're extremely committed. And instead of getting to play that ramp re-clear together, you're forced to rush into this flood on site.
I'm also wondering what they do with Cortezia's Viper's Pit. Right? There's a couple things they could do with that, position it in such a way to kind of...
Yeah, most of the time you'll just see someone like slam it down in mid, something like that. You could use it over towards A, something like that, but either way, you can take a look at the strength of schedule for Sen here. This is what they're facing against. A 4-game loss streak. 100 Thieves, G2. Sure, maybe you're expected to lose those 2, but then a beleaguered crew, an Envy that looked like a team on their deathbed 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. And
now
beleaguered, that's a $5 word.
Thank you. I'll take you up on that. But Sen now, they're having to go all the way. You keep bringing it up, but it would take 7 games in a row won.
A Herculean effort.
If they want to go to China.
John QT has hoisted trophies over his head in the past. Wants to do it again for the big one, the one that matters. Big connections start to come through his trades now. Workout in the favor of 2G. They're getting the kills. and not what you want out of a SEN timeout, but it's still good for 2G because they're getting everything that they want. They got Sentinels' backs against the wall here in this round, and they just need to play their angles and wait it out.
That they do. But for Sentinels, it was an eco round. You would have loved to make something more of it. Now that seems more of a challenge.
Curious if that talk they had more than likely was going to be for what's to come.
Yeah. Normally, when you see these timeouts on an eco round, it's setting up more towards the future or more towards a big picture change that the coach wants to see. As Franks will clean up through the wall.
Yeah, I mean, Cortezia knows he's all but dead here and will fall to that spike, but well done by 2G. They really needed just a way for them to get some more comfort rounds in there. Yes, it was an eco, but you make that double-digit trip, and you're getting so close to force that OT.
Absolutely. So now it's a question of the timeout. Shenom right now is top of the scoreboard. He's been taking over towards A. They haven't been able to stop him. You see Jonah this time start the round towards Rafter, looking to play more that A retake style instead, give less away to that Viper. They might be looking elsewhere. You see, at the last second, Shenom rotate over towards B, just to haunt, to feign A. So they might look to just exec into Redux instead.
They might want to see if they can get this push activated here, which they do. Redux looking. Does anyone try and make their way through B main? Well, it's the whole team's on the other side of that. And wait a minute, go Brr, but he does only get one. 3 though, fall. And that leaves here a 1v3 as Brinks is just the last one with the hope. And he's got to get out of dodge. Oh no, wait a minute.
He's ulting spawn.
He's ulting spawn.
He's going to be stuck between them now. They think he went to the A site. And now Jonah's questioning, which way did he go?
Found him. And that's it. GG as Sentinels will punch their ticket to the next round here at Play-Ins, and the journey starts now to make it to champions. 1 game done, 6 more to go. Job's not done yet.
They come out with a new identity, change their composition on both maps, lock their IGL onto the Phoenix. He top frags in this game, has a great performance in map 1 as well. And unfortunately for 2G, that means their journey here at VCT Americas ends. A lot of familiar faces that got a chance to return, got a chance to try and fight for that redemption here.
Yeah.
But could not get it across the line in this match against this new look SEN.
And look, I'm just going to go ahead and give all the flowers in the world to 2G. I mean, outside of the game, a lot of stuff happened to these young men. Very tough last couple of months for them, so I do want to give them all the love in the world. But of course, and Cortezia is doing that as well.
Yeah.
But you do got to give all the love to these boys right here on the stage as Sentinels picks up the win.